Right, guys, I'm playing Counter-Strike 2 on Steam Deck. The version I'm playing here is Windows. I did tell you I've got the other one on my the other Linux. I keep calling it Linux, my other Steam Deck. So here's the other one. There you go. That's Counter-Strike there. But if I try to play this one, it will kick me out of this one. You understand? There it is. That's Counter-Strike 2. That's my Linux Steam Deck. I'm just showing you that it's there. You know, I was playing all these games yesterday. So, Veld Experts actually works on this one. The Veld Experts works on Steam operating system, but not on Windows. I don't know why. Or maybe it's something that I'm doing. But I'm just showing you Counter-Strike is there. But I'm just saying, if I do play it here, the profile here and there on this one are two different. They're different. Because every time I want to play Counter-Strike here, it puts me in training and then it sets me up to play games. I'm not playing games on there, it's fine. But I'm just saying, I was surprised. I thought the one I'm playing on Windows would carry to this one. It doesn't. The profiles are different. They're not the same profile. So anyone that tells you, oh, the Steam one is the same as Windows, yes, the game's the same, but the profile, the game profile of you playing the game is not the same. So if you were still training on Linux on this one, and then you think you're going to go to Windows, and it's the same thing, it's not. So let's say you finish the training, you're playing the game, and you want to continue on Windows. It won't be the same thing. You will need to do training on Windows, and then you do the thing. So I'm just saying the games are not, they're the same, but the profile, the game profile, not the same. I noticed this because on this one it put me in training, and there I'm not on training. You understand? I thought I could progress on this one. It didn't let me. I'm just showing you that I got two Steam Deck. That's the Steam one. There's the proof it's Steam, so you can't say that's Windows. Nothing like this looks like Windows. This is more beautiful. This is a beautiful thing. That is Linux or Steam operating system. Mine is on 3.5. I just want to do a quick check and see if my RAM is correct. You know, I did change the RAM. I get tired of changing it because every time, yeah, my VRAM size is 4 gigs. There you go. I'll try and show you guys if you can see it. You see there? It says 4 GB. And look at that. That's the VRAM size. VRAM size is 4 gigabyte. And I did tell you how to change it before. It's saying there's an update. You see? Software update, blah, 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 blah. Steam client, September 29. I'm going to do that later, not now. So I'm just showing you, I've got two Steam Deck. They're different. This is on Linux or Steam operating system, and that's on Windows. Anyway, I'm mapping the DualSense controller. Damn it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's brought up the keyboard. I don't want the keyboard. Right, guys. So I'm mapping the controller, and I'm mapping my DualSense basically because when I'm playing the game, I'm noticing that a lot of the time the people are ducking in the game, and as they're ducking, it's causing me a problem. Like, well, anyway, I want to add buttons. I'm mapping the gamepad. That's what I'm doing. I'm mapping this thing. So let me put this away. Adjust my DualSense. I'm going to hold my phone here. This is iPhone 11 Pro Max that I'm using. The one I'm using to record is the 14 Pro Max. So that's the 11 Pro Max. Right. So this does say, right, E is to use. I don't know if I want to add E to the gamepad. I'm basically mapping. I'm mapping this DualSense. I took photos of the menu in the game, and I'm mapping this. So that's DualSense, yeah. So now you understand what I'm doing. I'm mapping the gamepad because there's a lot of things in the game that are not working on the DualSense. So I need to map it. If you don't understand what mapping is I'm changing what the buttons on the DualSense do. I can't change everything because otherwise I'll mess up the game. I'll mess up the controls. But I just want to change a few things. So it says to use is E. I don't know if I want to add that because I've not found a use in the game for that. I mean, what am I gonna use it for? It says drop weapon, G, inspect weapon, buy menu, auto buy. These are the things I'm thinking of doing. So buy menu is B. So if I click on the left touchpad, you see I've added B. So that's the buy menu. And then the auto buy and then the rebuy. Right. So I don't know. I don't think I want to do those because I might I might get carried away if I want to buy stuff. Right. It says select next weapon. These things I don't need to do. Real dial weapon menu. I don't need that one. I don't need that. Let's see. Secondary fire, blah blah blah. Okay, so these ones, I'm gonna leave it. So that's the buy menu that I've set up. Then I'm just gonna look and see if there's anything else here. Right, it says explosives and traps is 5, psycho grenades is 4, melee weapons is 3, HE grenade, flashbang. Right, so these have numbers on them. And the next thing I want to look at is it says smoke grenade, decoy grenade, Molotov cocktail. Hits. What's this one? Health shot is X. Right. So this one is interesting. I'm gonna actually add this X health shot. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna work for me because I don't think I've had that before. Graffiti menu. I'm gonna put that here as T. So I'm mapping the DualSense as you see me doing now. That's what I'm doing. Right. I think I don't know if I've mapped these. Have I mapped these? Oh, these are not mapped. Okay, fine. Um it says scoreboard is tab. I'm not interested in scoreboard. Explosive and traps. It says it's 5. Psycho grenades is 4. You know what? I might add this one for grenades. So I've changed that one. And then what's the other one? Explosives and traps. Psycho grenades is 4. That's one I've done. Explosives and taps. It says it's 5. Gonna change that to 5. And then triangle is 7. That's for flashbang. I don't know if you get these weapons. I'm just saying it might be useful. I've not seen them in the game. Like, the good thing about taking photos of the inventory is that anything doesn't work, I can always come back here and change it, you know? So that's the whole purpose of what I'm doing. It says radio message C, T message U, chat menu is Y, and I'm not going to use any of this stuff. I'm just looking at it. Chat will C, chat will 2. I'm not going to use any of that stuff. The stuff that I'm mostly interested in is what I can use here. Right, so I'm just looking at everything. Right, melee weapons. Right, did I put this already? That's flashbang. So I'll change this one. Melee weapons is 3. Right, so for 4 is psycho grenades. 7 is flashbang, and O I've put for 5, which is explosive and traps, and X I've put as 3, and that's melee weapons. Right. So as for these ones, let's see what I've done with these ones. Sorry. Right. So for the left on the D-pad, I put left control. That's for ducking. So I'll be able to duck now. And then for the right, I put left shift. That's to walk. For the up on the D-pad is I. That's toggle inventory display. And then for down on the D-pad, I put the right mouse button. And I think that's secondary fire because I think the fire, I already have it on this thing. That's for firing. But that doesn't do anything. I'm just wondering if I should have just put it here. I mean, like I said, if it's not working for any other reason, I can always swap it. But you see the other thing as well. If when you're using the sniper, you do need this button, isn't it? You need that. These are for cycling weapons, so I don't want to mess with these. That's why the only thing I'm touching in here is that, and then these, these triangle, square, X, and O. The D-pad, I can mess with the PlayStation logo. I can also mess with these other ones. What I can actually do the PlayStation logo as well. I think this is just universal. I could just put the escape key. You see, I know what you're thinking. You can't do it. I can map anything on the DualSense. And I'm going to put escape on that. And that should just send me to the menu. And what you do when you've done with this one, you just save it. And that's it. It's done. It's a done deal. It's sorted. I just remove this from the main menu. I'm putting this on the other menu. And as you can see, that's the actual menu I was taking photos of to see. It should now just work the way that I want it to work. And now I can jump straight back into the game and I can give it a go. I can test it just to see if it's working the way that I want it to work. Right. So, like I said, I was just playing the game. I couldn't duck in the game, and I felt like it's like I'm playing half of the game, isn't it? Because I can't duck in the game. I can't do what these guys are doing. The DualSense controller is good. I'm not saying it's a bad controller, but at the end of the day, I wasn't able to do certain things that I want to do. So let's give it a go. Let's see if my mapping has worked, and let's see how things go now. Right? Sorry. Oh my God. So what I've changed on the game on my DualSense? Well, let's see. You see, I can duck now, but it's not the way I thought it was gonna be. Look, come on. You see. So, you see, I can duck now. You understand? So after mapping the DualSense controller, I can do all these things. So the actual profile that I'm using on this is a DualShock. I could have renamed this. To Counter-Strike 2. I'm pretty sure I can rename it. I think I can. I'm not sure if I could change the name. Look at that. I got two of them. I got two people. So he's knifing that dude. And then while he's knifing him, I got him. So what I'm saying is, check this out. I can now duck. I wasn't able to do that before. Before I was just running around like this. Now I can actually, you see, I can duck. The other things I'm gonna try. Man, I'm kind of like happy with the ducking thing, but I'm gonna try the other things. Let's see. I don't know if the other things. Oh, there you go. Okay. Or secondary fire. So that's secondary fire then. So the secondary fire is just a swapping of a weapon. It's just a swapping of the weapon. You see what I mean? The secondary fire is just the swapping of the weapon. So instead of toggling them, you can just do that and you get your secondary fire. So if I do that, I get my guns. So you know one thing. This could be just a quicker way of swapping over to those weapons. I'm not saying it's faster than the tapping on the buttons themselves, but I'm just saying it might be quicker in the sense that the D-pad is closer to my fingers. Where's this guy gone? There's someone over there. Oh my God. So what I'm saying is mapping the how did I map it so quickly? Well, the program I use, like I keep telling people, I don't use DSX. DSX is for DualSense control anyway. I'm not going to say DSX is the wrong program. It's not the wrong program. It's just that in terms for me, I don't use DSX. I don't use DSX, basically. He was trying to knife me. Right. Oh my God. Wait. Damn. So what I'm saying is DSX in terms in my terms, in the way that I see DSX, it doesn't work so well on my system. So I don't use it. I don't utilize it as much. You understand? I'm not saying that I don't like using it. I just don't use it as much. So with DSX, I just don't use it. I bought it on Steam Store You can get the free version from the internet, which is fine. But you can get the free version from the internet. But like I'm trying to say, um, the free version will only tell you to update, and when you try to update, it will actually bring you to the Steam store to buy the DSX. So the upgrade is just the paid version. You understand? I mean, it's good. It's good to have. I'm not saying it's a bad program to have, but since I bought it, I don't use it as much because the last time when I was in Call of Duty and I was using DSX, I just wanted to swap my DualSense to an Xbox controller. That was the only purpose I had for it, and I just found that I couldn't. I mean, I was using it. I was playing on it. I was playing the game using the DualSense controller, and it appeared to be working. It appeared to be working, but then I just noticed that it disconnected, and it left me in a very bad place. Especially if you're looking at Call of Duty, where you need to be responsive, and I was in the middle of a game, and I wasn't able to move or do anything. I couldn't contribute to the team, and then since then, I've never used DSX. I mean, it does start up. It starts up with the Steam Deck. As soon as I switch on my Steam Deck, DSX will start with Steam as well. But I just exit out of it. I don't use it because the other issues. The other issue is if you're the other issue is, oh my god. The other issue is when you're using the DSX itself, it will appear as if it's working, right? It will appear as if it's working, but only but only but only for it then to stop working. The other issues why I don't like using multiple mapping emulators on my Steam Deck, like DSX, DS for Windows. You see, I was able to duck there, but I was reloading, so I wasn't able to get him down. What I'm saying is, DSX is not a problem. You see, I was able to duck. He wasn't able to kill me. Right, DSX is good. I've used it before, but when I wanted to try it in Call of Duty, it just stopped. It stopped reacting. You understand? It stopped reacting, and then I wasn't able to use it properly. So since then, I just don't use it. When it does start up with the Steam Deck as well, I tend to exit out of it. I tend to exit out of it, but the problem that I was having mostly with DSX is that when it's running in the background with DS for Windows, and I do have I've got another mapping program called X Output, and I've got the 360.ce, and when I do use those, I notice that it does say it's in share mode, and share mode is just simply, oh my god, share mode is just simply like telling you that there's other mapping programs running in the background. So as those mapping programs are running in the background, I think it does cause a few issues. You understand? So it was causing me a few issues, and then I was just like, nah, it's I'm not saying it's bad. Oh my god. I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is that when you're using a lot of programs, DS for Windows will tell you. And then sometimes you don't even know if the profile that you set for that game is being used. So you might think, yes, it's been used, blah, 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 blah. You see, I was able to duck there and fire on him. So what I'm saying is the mapping that I've done, I'm happy with, because it's actually benefiting me in a way. You see, they're ducking. They always duck. They like to duck. So that's why I was saying that I felt like a bit pointless in the game, because I was playing it and I couldn't do all these things. But the good thing about Steam Deck, like you can just swap your weapons, you know. So basically, what I'm saying is, basically what I'm saying is, oh my god, what? Did you see that? It's swapping the weapon. Ah, damn. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if you use too many mapping tools, DSX, DS for Windows will actually tell you that you're using share mode. So you do not know what profile you're using. Because DSX itself, I did set it in Xbox 360, which in a way is kind of a profile. It's like a profile in itself, the Xbox. So what if I want to use DualShock, or the program that I'm using? Does that mean that because it's in Xbox on on the DSX that suddenly now I'm not using my profile? You see what I mean? You don't know what profile you're using, basically. So basically what I'm saying is the profile that you're using may not be the profile that you're using in the game. I know I may be sounding like slightly confusing, but I'm not confusing. Listen, the mapping programs work differently. Every mapping profile that I've got has a different profile that I've set for different games on it. And I do not know what profile is running at the time when they start together, because when my Steam Deck starts up, X output is on, DSX is on as well. It auto starts. So you've got X output, DS for Windows, DSX, and you've got 360 .ce, which is the Xbox, the older mapping emulator. I need to exit out of X output, exit out of 360.ce, and then exit out of DSX. Because if I don't exit out of them, I do not know which profile it's using. That's the problem. I'm not a fortune teller. I cannot guess. So the way I find it, damn, shouldn't stop firing. So the way that I do it is I close the other programs down. So I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad programs. I'm just saying easier for me to shut them down. Use the one that I'm more used to, which is DS for Windows. If I need to change something, I can change it rapidly and quickly on DS for Windows, just like I showed you. The game was still running. I was able to open up the emulator, and then I was able to map the DualSense controller on the spot and still play the game. And you saw that everything I've mapped is actually working in the game. I can now swap out weapons much quicker and duck. The problem, you see what he was doing? He's doing what I told you guys to do. Move all the time. Don't stand still. Oh my god. So what I'm saying is, you can map the gamepad. You can change what the gamepad can do. There's nothing to stop you from doing so. I suggest you use DS for Windows. It is entirely your choice for you guys to choose what you want to use. You do not need to use what I tell you to use. That's all I can say. Damn, I don't even know. I was trying to run away. What I'm saying is, you guys get the choice of the mapping program you want to use on your on your DualSense controller. You don't need to listen to me, but I do think that my advice is quite good, because if you use too many mapping emulators, you leave them in the background running, they may mess up the profile or the way you've got the game set. Wow, look at how it flipped. So what I'm saying is, it may just be more beneficial. It may be more beneficial to just have one mapping program running on your Steam Deck. Causes less hassle, less confusion, and then you know what profile you're using. You know what I mean? And if you want to map the controller while you're playing the game, you can. And I think I've just demonstrated that. I've been... Wow, I got him. So, oh my God. So what I'm saying is, Not only have I demonstrated that DS for Windows can be mapped while the game is actually active, you don't need to exit the game. And I was able to take photos, screenshots on my phone, and able to map the controller the way that I wanted to while the game is running. Remember that the game wasn't off, the game was running. Everything on the game is functioning, is working, and at the same time I was able to map the controller. A lot of these other programs would want you to kind of close the game you're running and then map the controller and then restart your game, which is something that I didn't want to do. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying DS for Windows is the best emulator out there, because I think a lot of people would argue and say DSX is better. Since I'm using DualSense, you'd want to use what is currently out there, what is currently new for your DualSense controller, which would be DSX, because that's the emulator for the DualSense, for the PS5 gamepad. What I'm talking about is the mapping. If you want to map your gamepad, if you want to map this, you'd use a DSX, which is available at the Steam store. But if you're just like me and you're experimental and you just want something that you don't have to pay for, you wanna use the program. You've seen me doing it. You've seen me mapping the controller while the game is active, and then you want to make a video about it on your YouTube channel. Maybe you're much bigger than me. You've got more people that watch you, and you can tell them. You can spread the word around. Say, look, guys. Besides DSX, there is other mapping emulators out there that are better. What the hell? Got it. Oh my god. So what I'm saying is, it's a program just like DSX. I'm not saying DSX is a bad program. I'm just saying that my experience of DSX was never good, was not a good one. As I was playing the game, Call of Duty, it did disconnect my gamepad from the game, which I really didn't like. At the time, it was kind of frustrating as well. Oh my god, it didn't even see me. So it was frustrating, 1. 2, I wasn't able to contribute to the team. 3, it disconnected my gamepad. 4, I cannot map using DSX, while it's active, while the game is also active. I mean, you can't do it in Call of Duty. I mean, I haven't actually tried that. The thing is, maybe let me not talk too much about it. I've not tried it. I think that guy thought I wanted to camp. I actually wanted to see what was up there because I've not been there yet. Ah, damn. So, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying not to use DSX, but DSX you do need to pay for. DS for Windows you do not need to pay for. So what I'm saying is, at least DS for Windows, it's a free thing. It's a free emulator that you could use, and you could spread the word around. And sometimes if you don't like the actual mapping emulator, you could just leave it alone. And then with Steam as well, there's always someone who makes I don't know what they call it. If you play on big picture mode, you're most likely going to get someone who's mapped the DualSense controller already. Oh my god. Oh my god. So what I'm saying is, it's possible that you could actually oh, damn. I think I'm getting flu. It's possible for you to actually play games without ever using any of these mapping programs. It is possible to do that. It's possible to do that. But if you use big picture mode, it's possible just to play the game, because a lot of these DualSense Xbox game controllers are actually plug and play. You don't need to worry about that. But what I'm just saying is, in the events, you see there, I was able to duck and shoot him. Ah, my god. So what I'm saying is, you saw that I ducked. He just reacted quite quickly. So what I'm saying is, it's possible. What the hell, man? Why does it keep swapping my weapon when I do that? Oh my god. What I'm saying is, it is possible for you. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong now. You know what? I'm actually seeing. I'm actually seeing what I'm doing wrong. Well, it's not that I'm doing something wrong. It's just what you call this? The tabs. The tabs do that. You know. I mean, the tabs do that. The RBLLB things, they do that. The LBs and I mean these they swap weapons. So I now understand what I was doing. It's not the wrong thing. It's just something that happens when you're when you're swapping the weapons from the right side. It always goes to the knife. So I just forgot that because I was wondering why the knife kept appearing, but now I understand. He's still dead. What? No. Oh my god. I don't even know if I got him or someone else got him. Cause in this game you don't know. You see, you don't know who's getting who. Who's shooting who, you don't know. It's just you think it's you when it's somebody else that got him. So what I'm saying is you do not need to use a mapping tool if you do not want to use one. So it's not necessary. What? I did swap it over. I want the gun. It's just hiding behind the door. I did think of looking behind. I just didn't know if he was gonna be there. What I'm saying is, it's possible for you to have a Steam Deck and never have ever heard of DSX or DS for Windows and still be able to play games. So it's not impossible to play a game without a mapping tool. I'm just saying, if there are buttons here that you want to change, if there's anything you want to change here that you don't like, you can do it. That's what I was trying to say. It's possible to change the orientation of buttons or the layout if you don't like it. You understand? Maybe you wanna, like me, I couldn't duck in the game. I could not duck, so what did I do? I mapped this D-pad here. So if when I press this, I duck in the game now. I couldn't do it. All this time, I've had this game for the last 2 or 3 days. I've been playing this game. I've never been able to duck. And I'm using a DualSense controller. I thought it would be programmed, but it's not. It's not there. It was not nowhere here. You understand? So that's why I'm saying that sometimes these mapping tools are quite good. Because without it, I still wouldn't have the ducking thing. Ah, damn. You see how I was aiming. Okay. No, I can't duck and aim at the same time. The buttons are too close to one another. You know, the D-pad and the thingy. Right. Oh my god. Ah, that was a miracle. Right. So what I'm saying is, it's a possibility that you could play games on your Steam Deck and never have heard of mapping emulators. But the very fact that you do hear about them is a good thing, because that means that now that you know about them, that they do exist, and you've been playing this Counter-Strike, and maybe there's a layout that you want to use, but you're not sure, then I was trying to do it quickly because I was getting shot as well. So what I'm saying is, because now you know about it, it may even help you. Maybe now in Counter-Strike, there's a button layout that you like, but you never thought it was possible to change. So I'm just saying, wow, I got him with the second shot. I don't know why he's coming so close to me. So what I'm saying is, it's possible to change the way the game looks. Oh my god. It's possible to change how the game looks without actually... Ah, damn. I thought I got that guy. So I'm saying it's possible to actually change the button layout, even the D-pad, even the PlayStation logo, to map everything, even the touchpad that you're using. It's possible to change it. That's why I'm saying it's you can map everything from the touchpad to these buttons to the D-pad to the PlayStation logo, even the share and create, even the clicking of the thumbsticks. You can map everything. So I'm not saying that it's buttons only. So if you have a playstyle and you want to use it on Counter-Strike 2, you don't know how to change the buttons, I'm telling you now that you can do it. You can either use DSX, you need to buy that from the Steam store for $4, or you download the one that I use for free, DS for Windows. It's totally free. You don't pay a single cent, nothing, free emulator. Or if you want to use X output, it's the same as DS for Windows. It's just that I haven't used it much, but I'm saying it's possible you could use it. X output is the same as DS for Windows. Why do I use DS for Windows? Because DS for Windows was built for the DualShock controller, and as it was built for the DualShock controller, and I needed an emulator at that time for the DualSense controller, PS5 gamepad. DualShock is a PS4 gamepad. So if you understand where I'm coming from here, I just wanted an emulator that would work with the PlayStation controller, and because I didn't understand how X output works. Oh my God, this guy up there. Oh my God. So what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, if you want to change the way your controls work on your gamepad, like for example, I did say the DualSense is plug and play. It's true. The Xbox would be as well, but I didn't have duck. I couldn't go down. I couldn't crouch in the game. So how did I get my crouching? Basically, I have used a mapping emulator called DS for Windows, which is the PlayStation 4 emulator that maps the gamepads. That's what I've done. So what I'm saying is, it is possible to change every button on your gamepad, not just the D-pad, the triangle, square, and all that stuff. You can literally change what your game does. Oh my God. So what I'm saying is, you can change everything on your gamepad. If you want to use a swipe function on this one, if you want to use a swipe function on the touchpad, which is like a mouse on the DualSense controller, you can use that as a function. But I'm not deep with the mapping, If you want to do all that mapping stuff, then you do need to find people on YouTube that actually do that mapping stuff, to that point. I mean, to that extent. So what I'm saying is, if you want to do hardcore mapping, like you want to change everything, oh my God, if you want to change everything on this DualSense controller, even the clicking, in the game that you're playing, whatever game it is, you need someone who understands the deeper roots of mapping. Because I'm not that deep. I'm just, like, the things that I do are just basic stuff, So I'm not here to preach the gospel. I'm just saying it is very possible to change buttons, the button layout, if you don't like it. So if there's something you don't like, oh my God, if there's something you don't like on the DualSense controller and you want to change it for whatever game, GTA 5, it doesn't have to be Counter-Strike. It can be any other game that you want to play. It can be any other game that you want to play. So it doesn't have to be Counter-Strike. It can be any other game. Battlefield game, maybe Battlefield's 2042. Maybe there's a function that, so when you click on it, instead of the melee, maybe there's a function that you want to use. Maybe you want to change the sprint button on your Xbox controller. You don't know how to do it. There's no function there. Maybe on Steam, nobody's actually doing it the way you want to do it. Maybe you've got your own particular style of gameplay. Maybe you've got your own style of playing the game. Maybe you've got your own layout that you want to use that's only for you. So what I'm saying is, you may be that special individual that has his own special moves that other people don't know about. And this is just the perfect way of mapping your gamepad to your desire without sharing your secrets. You understand? So you've got your own way of playing the game, and you don't want to share it with people. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to share the way you map your gamepad, the way you play your games. You're not interested in the Steam profiles. You don't want to use their game profiles because that's for everybody. Everyone else is using those profiles. So why would you want to use someone else's mapping when you can do your own? You understand? So that's why I'm saying it's very possible to do it, but you need an emulator. You cannot just go to Steam. Okay, if you got the Steam Deck, you can do it with Steam Deck. So yeah, you could literally make your own and never share your own. But imagine that you're playing this game for I don't know, like 100 hours. Like you've played this game the most. You've been there since day one, and Steam just notices like you're always on the leaderboards. They're going to take an interest into your mapping. You know, like how are you getting the best results? What's your mapping like? You know, they may make it public. You understand? Because if you're popular on this game, they can do that. Because maybe you've got a fan base now. They'll be like, oh, this guy's got a fan base. You know, what mapping is you using? Then people will gain access to what you're using, and they may even defeat you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't want everyone to have the same mapping you're using. So what do? You have to use external mapping programs. And the only external mapping programs are the ones I'm talking about. The ones that have nothing to do with Steam. They're just out there. They can be used by anyone on any computer system. What I'm saying is they're very specific. Oh my God. They're very specific. You don't need to be on Steam to use them. And that's the other good thing about these. You understand? That's the other good thing about them. You do not need Steam to use the emulator to play the games. So DS for Windows is just a program available on the internet, and if you're playing Call of Duty, you can use it. Which or if you're using a game that's on Epic Games Launcher, you could use it. Oh my God! So let me make another video, guys.